Hope, the foundation for life. It is the spark that is seen in the eyes of a child. Without hope, life is reduced to a state of misery and despair. The Apostle Paul said, "Without hope, we are of all men most miserable." Have you ever looked into the eyes of a child whose world was filled with poverty, famine, neglect, war, genocide, and disease? Have you ever witnessed the hopeless stare of someone with no hope? Have you ever gazed upon a landscape where hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions, have been abused, raped, and died? If so, you understand that hope is the only answer to their pain. The nations of East Africa are such a place. Thousands upon thousands of children have been orphaned, left to fend for themselves. Many find themselves subject to incomprehensible abuse, prostitution, or crime just as a means of survival. They have no loving parents to watch over them, feed them, clothe them, or protect them. They are alone. Their very will to live is tested to the limits each day in an environment that few of us could comprehend. For these, the lost, the neglected, the orphaned children of East Africa, there is nothing that can dispel this darkness and provide a reason to believe for a better tomorrow more than hope. The objective of YWEA 2009, Hope for the Hopeless, will be to provide, nurture, and care for the hurting orphans and widows of the East African nations of Rwanda and Kenya. Never in the history of YWEA has there been an opportunity to provide assistance that would make such an immediate impact upon the lives of so many as this endeavor. By targeting East Africa, YWEA 2009 intends to provide assistance, relief, and most of all, hope to the victims of war-ravaged Rwanda and AIDS-stricken Kenya. In 1994, many of us sat captive as our televisions displayed images of the genocide that occurred in Rwanda, when over 800,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutus were systematically massacred in less than 100 days. The wake of this atrocity left thousands of orphans and widows. Unspeakable horrors of brutality, rape, and violence were inflicted upon the people of Rwanda. Today, it is estimated that over 100,000 children are the primary caregivers of approximately 42,000 households. Children raising children. Though the Church of God was basically destroyed during the genocide, it is growing again. YWEA 2009 will focus on helping Rwanda rebuild its ministries. With your help, they will be able to purchase land that will be the home of the National Church, one of only 2 owned Church of God properties in Rwanda. We will also help to construct homes to help house the widows and orphans that have been left as a result of the genocide. A vocational training school will also be established to teach trade skills and equip these individuals to find jobs. In Kenya, there is a place that nightmares are made of. It is a place where more than 1 million people live in a 1.5 square mile radius, and of this number, 1/2 are under the age of 15. 54% of the people living here are HIV positive or have the AIDS virus. There is no running water. There is no sewer system. There is only 1 toilet for every 500 to 1,000 people. This place is known as the slums of Kibera. The slums of Kibera are filled with despair, anguish, and suffering. Tens of thousands have died from the AIDS virus, leaving over 100,000 orphans to fend for themselves in this wretched environment. They scavenge and beg for food. They are horribly abused. 7, 8, and 9-year-olds are forced into prostitution as a means to earn their keep. They live in small shacks constructed of whatever materials they can scavenge, yet many have no one to care for them. The horror of their existence is unimaginable. Yet just beyond these slums, there stands an oasis of hope, our Church of God orphanage. The Kibera Kids Center was established in 2001 by Jim and Deborah Womble to care for the orphans of Kibera slums, those that had been left without parents due to the AIDS virus. At Kibera Kids Center, these children are fed, given a warm, dry bed to sleep in, clean clothes, fresh water, loving caregivers, schooling and medical attention, everything a child needs. However, a recent financial shortfall has left its mark on this wonderful place. 80 of the 180 orphans that were residing in the orphanage had to return to the horrors of the slums because there were insufficient funds to care for all of them. Imagine having to tell one of your children they had to leave because you could not care for them. Imagine having to choose who would go and who would stay. Imagine a rescued child being told they would have to return to that terrible place. Without financial support to provide necessary food and clothing, beds at the orphanage sat empty, while just across the wall, children are suffering. With your help, YWEA 2009, Hope for the Hopeless, will solve this problem. We will focus on establishing an operational endowment that will provide food, clothing, and shelter for the orphans of Kibera Kids Center, not just for today or next month, but for many years to come. Each year, Kibera Kids Center will receive operational expenses as a result of your investment today. YWEA 2009, Hope for the Hopeless, will impact hundreds of thousands. By providing assistance to these orphans, the future of East Africa will be affected. Every dollar contributed will go directly toward providing hope for the hopeless in Rwanda and Kenya. Together, we can change the bleak, dismal future of these precious children into one of hope. To learn more about this project, please visit www.hopeforthehopeless.net or www.extremegen.org.